Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. Today I want to talk about Urgot. I've been having a lot of fun with this guy since his rework. I've played more than a few games on Urgot in the couple of days it's been, and I just wanted to give my first few impressions of kind of how this champion is working out and where I think his place in the meta is now. So first, let me just say he is a lot of fun to play. I already like playing Juggernauts, and I think Urgot does very Juggernaut-y things. He's a bully up in the top lane. He does a lot of damage. He has high durability. He's just like a really, really cool, fun champion to play. And I think that the biggest thing for me is that Urgot feels very thematically cool. He feels like this big-ass guy that you don't want to be anywhere near, and if you do get near him, he's going to annihilate you, and that's really fun. I think he's very, very strong in lane. Being a ranged Juggernaut means that it's a lot more difficult to avoid his damage. He does have the ranged auto-attack harass, even though he isn't that long range. You can't get as close to the minions as you want. He's very difficult to trade onto because of Purge giving him a shield and then doing a lot of bonus damage. And Urgot does have a dash as well. It's a very small dash, a very delayed dash, but it is a dash, and it puts you on the other side of him. So Urgot can threaten and all in pretty safely with that, which forces enemy champions to back off even further unless they actually want to fight him. And I don't know if you really want to do that early on against Urgot. Having the Fervor of Battle mastery really does help Urgot in the early game. He stacks it up very quickly because of Purge, and he just gets a ton of AD and then annihilates you, and it's pretty good. Now, the biggest thing for me about Urgot is that he's great in lane, but once he hits the mid game and the late game and he starts team fighting, he's not as great. The biggest problem for me is that Urgot has to be so close to people in order to do damage, and damage is really the only thing Urgot brings to the table. So Garen, for example, can kind of run at somebody and silence them and then soak a bunch of damage with his W active because he gets a free 30% DR or something ridiculous like that. Darius obviously is looking to just stack on anybody and then will start penta-dunking with his Noxian Guillotine. Urgot doesn't really have that. He has very limited utility. The slow is delayed and difficult to land. Like I said before, he is very short range, and he can kite himself out very easily by activating Purge in a poor situation. Remember, that does slow you. So it kind of feels like Urgot just goes in a team fight and then dies and doesn't contribute that much, or if he's ahead, he goes in and he's an unkillable monstrosity and there's nothing you can do about him. So the biggest issue I have with Urgot at the moment is that it doesn't feel like his mid game and late game are very good. He does feel like he's a champion that basically has to scale up to the late game, or has to snowball early and then try to win by mid. Feels like he's best in sort of a split push environment because he doesn't do well in team fights. As I mentioned, he's much better off going to a side lane, absorbing pressure there, and just trying to push in. He does push fairly effectively with Purge. It's pretty nice. The best thing I can say for Urgot, though, is that unlike other Juggernauts like Garen, he does have a lot of skill expression and mastery. If you're not able to land Corrosive Charge with Urgot, it becomes very difficult to trade in a minion wave because Urgot will shoot the closest thing to him when Purge is active unless he's locked on. So if you miss all of your skill shots and you're walking in a minion wave, you're just going to be shooting the nearest minions instead of your opponent, who definitely has a higher attack range than the minions. So it's very important for the Urgot player to actually make sure he gets that. He'll still get some damage from Purge, and it definitely damage from Echoing Flames, but it's not that much damage done, so you do need to be able to land those abilities. I think Fear Beyond Death has a lot of very interesting applications. If you use it early, you get a slow, which really helps you stick to someone and do damage to them, but if you use it late, you're more guaranteed to get the execute. So it's very interesting to see how that kind of plays off each other, and it's a good place for Urgot to be. So overall, I'm very happy with the Urgot rework. I think he's not only a cooler champion to play, he feels better to play. He has a more defined niche in the game as sort of a Juggernaut. The biggest issue for me is where does he fit into a team composition. I don't think he does basically anything besides win lane. And after that, unless he just snowballed really hard, he's not going to do anything else. Now, to be fair as well, I'm not like an Urgot main or anything. I played him a couple of times now following the rework, so, you know, what do I know? Clearly there are people who have played Urgot a lot more than me. However, I can say that he feels much better to play. I have a lot more fun with the champion now, and I just think he's overall healthier for the game. So I would say rework completed, rework accomplished. I do really like this champion. I think he's in a good spot, and I'm looking forward to playing more of him in the future. Anyways, go ahead and let me know your guys' thoughts on Urgot down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' impressions of the champion, especially if you were an Urgot main before. As few of you as there probably are, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the new Urgot, what you guys are thinking. Is he faithful to the original Urgot? Do you prefer this more or worse? You know, any thoughts you guys have, I would love to hear down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. Upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will talk to you all later.